On Wednesday, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments on whether South Carolina's 1st congressional district was racially gerrymandered and needs to be redrawn.
It comes months after a federal judge panel ruled the way the district was drawn intentionally diluted the power of black voters in the Charleston area. Here's Becky Buds.
Redistricting should be fair, should respect communities of interest, should accurately reflect the voices of the people who are there.
This is a map of South Carolina's 6 congressional districts. District 1 was redrawn by the Republican-controlled state legislature in 2020 after the U.S. Census was released. On the new map, voters living in Charleston County were split between the 1st congressional district, currently held by Republican Nancy Mace, and the 6th congressional district, currently held by Jim Clyburn, the only Democrat in the state's congressional delegation. After the new congressional maps were approved, civil rights groups swiftly filed a lawsuit against the state legislator. Lynn Teague is with the League of Women Voters.
What actually predicts the map that was drawn is racial distribution, not partisan distribution.
Republican legislators disagree with that claim. They argue that it was partisan gain, not race, that was considered when redrawing the district. John Gore, an attorney with Jones Day representing the lawmakers, wrote in a brief, quote, "This evidence establishing the political and race-neutral explanation for District 1 is the end of the case." Voting rights groups say the case is about more than just one congressional election in the state.
Black voters are being hurt, but all voters are being hurt. All voters are not having their community accurately represented.
Attorneys have asked for a ruling by January so that maps can either be adopted or redrawn by state lawmakers in time for the next congressional election in 2024. Reporting in studio, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.
So what is gerrymandering? Webster defines it as the practice of dividing or arranging a territorial unit into election districts in a way that gives one political party an unfair advantage in elections. The Supreme Court may rely on previous rulings to help make a decision on South Carolina. In June, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of black voters in Alabama, ordering the creation of a 2nd district with a large black population. In North Carolina, the court ruled state courts can act as a check on their legislatures in redistricting and other issues affecting federal elections. And in Louisiana, the court dismissed the state's appeal seeking to prevent redrawing of congressional districts that may have diluted the power of black voters.